Today I'll be interviewing Donald Nannestad. Could you briefly tell us about your role in the City Council?
I'm the City Council portfolio holder for Recreation and Health, which covers sport.
How important do you think that access to subsidised or free sports facilities is in terms of improving health?
I think some sports have to be subsidised because if people have to pay the full amount, they will just not be able to afford that money. It's more difficult to provide free fitness facilities because of the climate we're in at the moment financially, but we do try and subsidise where we can.
Are there any groups within the local population that you're particularly concerned with about regarding to their weight and fitness?
Well, in the health statistics, we see that the adult overweight people are actually in the better half of the district councils in the country. But we do have quite a prevalence of obese adults, and that is a problem. And some of that is older people, trying to get older people to do things, even if it's just going for a walk. We also do have some concern with children, because we work with a program called Fit Kids, which works individually with children and also with their parents to try and teach them healthy lifestyles and healthy eating, as well as doing some exercise. In some cases, this can make quite a big difference to people, because on some of the programs we've done, for instance through health trainers, if someone is overweight and therefore can't have an operation, say they need a hip replacement, by working one-to-one with them, they get their weight down, they can have their hip replacement, then their life is changed, their mobility is totally different.
Do you subsidise or allow free access to sports facilities for specific groups within your area?
Well, we do subsidise sports facilities. For instance, football pitches are subsidised at about the rate of £5,000 a season each pitch. But if we charge the full amount, no team would play on our pitches. The situation with local football, 11-a-side football, is that there's very few teams playing Lincoln on a Saturday. I think there's 3. And the Sunday League is only half what it used to be, so we need to encourage these teams. And certainly, if we were to charge the full amount, which other councils have tried to move towards occasionally, and then they've had to shy away because teams just close down. We do offer some free facilities, but that tends to be through sort of incidental ways, through programs where we've had funding to run a program, and then the people who use it get free access, and that in particular is aimed at people from deprived communities.
Do you think that free access to fitness and sports facilities should be a greater priority in terms of central local government funding?
But it is difficult at the moment because of the financial situation we're in. Local councils in particular have been very hard hit by reductions in spending through no fault of their own. I think there should be a greater emphasis on sport and on fitness, mainly to help people. It's better that people are active, and it improves their lives. It improves their lives both physically and mentally if they're active. So that's just for the good of people to get involved in things. Whatever they do, whether they just go walking or they run a marathon, everything that people do, as long as it's active, will help them.
Have recent government spending priorities disproportionately affected the access to sports facilities?
Well, they have. In our own case, until 2 or 3 years ago, we ran our own sport development team, which ran a whole series of programmes. We ran a annual primary school event, which was like sports hall athletics, which was a very competitive event among the junior schools in the city, which all of them took part, and the final was a very, very competitive event between the different schools. Unfortunately, we had to stop doing that and we had to close that team because we just couldn't afford to keep it going. However, some of those things have been taken on by other people. One of the things that they used to run was the Lincoln 10K. We have outsourced that to a not-for-profit organisation called Run for All, which is the Jane Tomlinson charity. and that has actually saved us quite a lot of money, and the event is just as popular as it was, if not more popular. They've experienced running similar events in across Yorkshire and Lancashire, and they have a good database of potential runners. We are facing problems though with some of our services are actually funded by Lancashire County Council, who are looking at cutting through their big health budget, cutting services like the Healthy Lifestyles team, which works with health trainers, with fit kids, there's organised walks, and sort of one-to-one with people as to improve their health. Now the County Council is cutting most of that budget, so that is, we don't have the money to continue that, so that will end. But that's again entirely due to the cuts placed on them by central government. So it does have an effect on sport, and sport is not protected. It's not a statutory duty for local councils. Some services are a statutory duty, so you've got to provide them. You don't actually have to provide sport.
What sports facilities are there in the City of Lincoln besides those provided by schools?
Well, the City Council provides a significant amount of sport facilities, to provide football pitches. We have community centres which are used for sports like badminton and carpet bowls. We have Common, which is used for sport. We have obviously Yarborough Leisure Centre and Birchwood Leisure Centre, which are both big sports centres. But there's also this is private members clubs, so you've got places like Lincoln Sports Association, you've got Lincoln Moorlands Railway and Rustons. Lincoln Moorlands Railway and Rustons were originally works sports facilities, and when those works either closed down or decided no longer to support sport, the members kept them going themselves. If you were to go back maybe 30 or 40 years in Lincoln, quite a lot of the main sports facilities have been provided by employers for their employees. Well, that doesn't happen there.
What sports facilities are available to different groups?
Well, we have a wide range of facilities. I mean, there's everything from within Lincoln. There's a climbing wall at the showroom.
Oh yes, I've seen that.
There's which counts as sport. There's swimming pools, football pitches, cricket pitches. There's a rugby pitch at Yarborough, and I'm not sure how often it's used. There's an 8-lane athletic track at Yarborough. So the majority of sports are catered for in Lincoln. There is an impression sometimes that there is inadequate supply of swimming facilities, but it's very difficult to persuade that to the Amateur Swimming Association, who are key in deciding funding for swimming, because they believe that we are oversubscribed for swimming, because they count all the school swimming pools in, and they look at the population of Greater Lincoln and they count RF Waddington in, and pools like that. So the issue here perhaps is the lack of facilities during the day, although Yarborough is open quite a lot during the day now. But I'd say the majority of sports are covered. It's difficult to get funding for some sports.
What does the City of Lincoln do to enhance and promote physical exercise in relation to health?
Well, we do quite a lot of things. We work with the general public. We also work with our own staff to try and improve their health and do, for instance, fitness checks and well, those sort of things are available to staff so that they can see whether they're overweight or then given advice as to what to do. Our health trainers go into places like the Waterside and go into events around the city promoting what's available to people to try and get people involved. Generally, obviously, the fact that we run these facilities and we need to get people to use them, we do have to promote them.
What does the City of Lincoln do to increase awareness of the opportunities for exercise and participation in sport?
Well, it's the same thing to try and get people to get involved and try and promote the fact that people need to do exercise. It doesn't matter what their age and what exercise they do to some extent, but they need to do something. And if they're older, they're obviously not going to start off by running a 10k. They need to do something more gentle to get going. And we do things which cater for all age groups. So, for instance, we organise walks on a regular basis, on a weekly basis in most events, and they mainly attract older people. These are organised events where there's a walk trail and Nannestad walks, and for instance around Heart Centre Park, and so we actually do some in the out of Lincoln in the countryside in villages like Cherry Willingham and Fiskerton. They're popular, and then once a year there is an annual county walk with a tea at the end of it, which is actually quite an interesting event. Although this year's wasn't such a nice tea, last year's was an absolutely superb tea event at Stoke Rochford Hall. But there's several hundred people go to that. But we try and at least make people aware these are the opportunities. And we, for instance, we'll promote things on our website. Although we have outsourced to 10K, we still promote that on our website, and so people can go from our website straight onto the Run for All website if they want to enter.
Which facilities does the City of Lincoln make directly available?
Well, we directly make available things like community centres, which can be used, they're not exclusively used for sport, but can be. Sports pitches, like football pitches, cricket pitches. We've invested quite heavily in cricket pitches in recent years. We have 2 pitches which are both up to a good standard now. One is leased by the university, but it is available for the community to use and for a community team. Many of our other facilities are outsourced through non-profit making organisations. So Active Nation, which is a non-profit organisation, runs Birchwood and Yarbough for us. We pay them a management fee, and that has been reduced substantially as a result. The charges have gone up because we can't control them so tightly as to what they can charge if we're not giving them such a large fee. So we provide basically the general run of sports facilities.
Has the City of Lincoln developed and supported recreational areas like cycle routes, walking trails?
The cycle routes wouldn't be for us to do, it's the County Council function. We do promote walking trails. We have our regular walks with leaflets, so people can either go on an organised walk on those routes or they can go themselves. We also worked in partnership with British Heart Foundation and created a heart-shaped walking trail around the city, which is quite difficult to do because you've got to get the route right. And the idea was not that people do the whole route in one, but they would do bits of it at different times, because to do the whole route would be a long walk and take more than a day, I suspect. So we do look to promote that sort of thing.
What role does the central government play in initiatives and activities in the City of Lincoln in relation to sport and health?
Well, they play a role because central government is the organisation which controls Sport England. Sport England sets down policy, and that policy decides where funding is spent for capital investment. So if we wanted a new swimming pool, we would have to go to Sport England and persuade them, and we would then have to fit the criteria which has been laid down by the government, because that's how they work. The situation is that just before Christmas the government announced a change of strategy. In the past they've concentrated the funding almost entirely on organised sport, and they're now changing that to include other physical activities such as dance, walking, rambling, which are not technically sport, but probably just as good physical activity as anything else. And there's also government funding available again through Sport England for particular individual projects of working with people. So we have money for a 3-year project which is mainly funded by Sport England, called Activate, which we work with individual people across the city, mainly in deprived wards, targeted really at Park and Abbey ward. It also includes Glebe, Castle, Moorland, Birchwood, And in each of these wards, there's activities to help direct not just youngsters but adults as well towards sporting activity. That certainly the last time I looked, it had something like, they'd made something like 3,000 contacts with people during that time. So that's quite a very mind population of Lincoln is probably about 95,000. It's actually quite a lot of contacts, and it's, you know, the aim is to actually just get people started, and then hopefully they will continue on their own. The government plays a role in health because the government sets various targets and various measures which are looked at every year. And
thank you so much for your
okay.
time.
Well, thank you.